But we did have one client that we quickly started to notice it was fake.
What do you mean?
She was just trying to get a refund.
Oh.
So, but every week she kept ordering, and she would keep saying, like, you see my hair, I have dark hair. Mm-hmm. And everyone that works at the kitchen has dark hair, except for our dishwasher, but she's not dealing with the food. Mm-hmm. And every week this girl would send us a picture of like a clump of blonde hair in her food. God. And she's blonde.
Oh my God.
So the first time I was like, oh my God, we even had like a mini meeting and we were like, okay, how did this happen? We need to figure this out. After the third week of this happening, and she's still ordering. Like, come on, if you get a clump of hair in your food every week, are you going to keep ordering?
100% not, man.
No.
What?
So we quickly realized she was
taking advantage.
Putting it in herself.
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? It's your motherfucking boy, Gamero, the Pharaoh, the poor man's Robert De Niro. You know what I'm talking about, bald version, but still beautiful as always. You know what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here another Thursday at midnight. And yes, you can check us out on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Deezer, and all that good stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, more than anything, you gotta check us out on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got 72 damn cameras in here. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get to see our beautiful grins, our beautiful faces, and every single time that we have a new guest. You know what I'm talking about? And speaking of having a new guest, ladies and gentlemen, how do I put into words the honor that is my opportunity to introduce, ladies and gentlemen, a powerhouse when it comes to healthy eating? You know what I'm talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, in the studio today, I have the honor of introducing for the first time ever, ladies and gentlemen, we have Vedra from Glow Meals. Vedra, how are you today? Thank you so much for joining us. How is everything?
Everything is good. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. And excuse those technical difficulties that we were having before we started. Pro Tools will never be a sponsor of this show. I'll tell you that right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very excited to jump into this episode. There's so many things that we can jump off of, and I definitely want to start off with the basics. Vedra, how did it all kind of come to be? How did Glow Meals start?
Okay, well, we have a pretty unique story, and I really like telling this story.
Please do.
About 4 years ago, I was a personal trainer, and I was also a fitness competitor. And I used to personally train my clients, and every day they would see me bring my meals in, and they would tell me, oh, can you cook for us? Can you cook for us? And I always said that I didn't have the time. And finally, one day, one client of mine, Diana, convinced me to cook for her.
Okay.
And I started cooking for my clients, and little by little, more people in the gym wanted me to cook for them.
Oh.
It got to the point where we got so big that we had to stop doing it out of a home and start renting a kitchen.
Oh, wow. What was that experience like when you know what I'm saying, when you kind of reached the level of success that wow, it gave you the means to rent out a kitchen? I mean, that's a big step right there.
It was. It felt really good. Looking back now, it feels better. Sometimes when you're in the moment and you're so stressed out of how you're going to get things done, you don't take a second to stop and say, wow, I'm actually doing this.
Oh, yeah.
But looking back now, it was a great moment. We did not think we were ever going to surpass just cooking for 10 people out of the house.
Wow. And kind of what was the catalyst that kind of made you go from like you said, more than 10 people to a substantial amount of clients? Like what kind of set everything off?
It was hard because I really enjoyed personal training and competing, but I saw something in me just told me to run with this. And I'm not a chef. I'm not a cook. I'm a businesswoman. So I saw the opportunity in taking this the long run. And I thought to myself, it's been 3 months and we've grown enough to where we can rent a kitchen. Imagine what can happen in a year or two.
Do you have any, when you first started, did you already kind of have aspirations of big goals, or were you just trying to like conquer a small market, or from day zero, was it like, nah, like we're going to be healthy McDonald's out here? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, expansion big, or was the idea, did the idea kind of grow on itself?
It grew on itself. I thought I was going to end up still being a personal trainer and competing and doing this as like a side gig. And then this quickly took over everything. So once it started to take over everything, then I said, okay, no, this is what I'm meant to do right now.
What do you think for our listeners who are, starting their own business, who are trying to, get out there and put everything into it? What do you think are some of the tips that you could maybe give them of some mistakes that you went through that maybe they could avoid?
You definitely have to put in work, and you have to put in time. Your time is no longer yours. It is the business. One big mistake I made in the beginning was who I hired. And in the beginning, if you're doing well, which is fantastic, you're going to think, oh, I need the help, so I'm going to hire people. And a lot of first-time business owners make the mistake of who they hire. And they're a little too trusting and a little too giving because you want to keep the employees around and you want everyone to be happy, but you will quickly realize that not everyone has the same mindset as you for the business, or that they're not great people.
Right.
You have to really be careful who you hire, who you allow into your business, not just for the quality of work they're going to provide, but the vibes they give off.
Oh, yeah, 100%. The vibes matter, man, for sure.
And back to an advice I can give, it would most probably be to realize that your life is going to change. If you really want something to take off in ways you can't even imagine, then you have to do things you can't even imagine doing.
Right. What are some of the biggest challenges that you faced as far as expansion? Maybe you took X amount of orders and you didn't realize that, in one day you had to do 30 deliveries. Like something along those lines.
We have amazing delivery drivers now, but before we had these drivers, we had me. And I would get up at 5 a.m. and do all the deliveries before 7 a.m. when I went to go personally train people.
Wow.
And one of the hardest things was getting everything done in time. And when you hear it's like, I have to cook for 20 people, it'll be fine. I'll cook for these 20 people. I'll go to sleep. I'll wake up and deliver it. But something always goes wrong.
Right.
And it was time management. Time management definitely was probably the hardest aspect of getting started.
And what was the secret behind conquering it?
Again, it goes back to hiring the right people. But once you can hire the right people and bring them in, they bring something towards your business that you can't do alone. But in the beginning, I didn't hire the right people.
Right.
And it definitely caused for some problems. Definitely.
No, I mean, I bet. Talk to me about maybe some of the different requirements, or different requirements, dietary requirements that different clients may need. How many different menus are you making on a day? Because boom, someone keto only, and then someone's only gluten free, and someone's only this and that. Talk to me about that.
Everyone is so different, and we offer low carb meals, keto meals. We do a lot of gluten-free. We do classic weight loss for someone who's trying to lose weight. We also do regular meals for people that are trying to either gain weight or maintain. So we have a great team now that is able to manage that. Everyone at the kitchen is very aware of what we call the allergy section, or the changes section, where, we have 300 of, let's say, chicken, rice, and beans, but then you have a small group of people who can't have beans.
Right.
Or vegetarians that can't have chicken. And we go above and beyond to be able to meet those dietary needs so that everyone can eat at Glow Meals.
Right. That's amazing. What's your process like as far as adding things to the menu, removing things from the menu? What did your first menu look like, and how has it changed from what it looks like now? Talk to me about that.
Well, now we have a great website that my brother truly helped build, and
Big shout out, brother. You know what I'm saying?
George. But before we took orders out of a notebook.
Oh, respect. Old school. I like it. I like it.
A spiral notebook that I would walk around the gym with and take orders from people. And when I would write the menu, honestly, back then, before we had a website, I would text it to them. I would just text people, hey, this is what we're doing Monday through Friday. And I only had one option daily. Now we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But back then, yeah, I was taking orders out of a notebook and texting them menu items.
Random question. What's your favorite breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
To make or to like serve or
No.
taste-wise?
For you, taste-wise.
My favorite breakfast, we do these incredible gluten-free cinnamon roll pancakes.
Ooh.
That are pretty fire.
Okay.
For lunch, any pasta dish that we make is pretty incredible.
Pasta will always hit the spot.
And dinner, I'm a big salad person. So
Okay.
I do like our salads, yeah.
Okay, very cool, very cool. Ladies and gentlemen, every single week, you know what I'm talking about, we have 3 segments. And the first one is actually called Mail Time. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out Blues Clues, you know what I'm saying? I stole it. And every single week, you know what I'm saying, we put out a story, or we you know what I'm saying, we get our fans to send in questions. And you send in those questions and boom, we'll ask them on the air. So here we go. And these are the questions that the people, they clamor. Here we go. So, Vedra, what is your personal, either if it has to do with glow meals or not, your personal favorite cheat meal?
Oh, goodness. I love food. So there's quite a bit. But probably, it's not really a cheat meal, but I do love it, and I go over with it. Sushi.
Oh,
Sushi.
yes. Oh, man. I could eat sushi 24/7.
Yes. I can eat a lot of sushi. A lot.
Man, I'll get a boat right now. You know what I'm saying? Okay, very cool. Great answer. Number 2 from our mail time segment. What is the weirdest customer request you've gotten so far?
Okay, I have a good one.
Yeah. And man, I can see some reactions off camera. You know what I'm saying? I can already tell it's going to be a good one.
Oh, okay. So one time we had a lady, love her, but we were...
I love the preface. Love her.
We were doing a whole grain grilled cheese that went with a cream tomato bisque. And she ordered the whole grain grilled cheese, but said she wanted no bread.
What?
Yeah. She ordered the grilled cheese, but did not want bread.
What?
Yeah.
So what? You hit her with that Kraft single, you know what I'm saying, and then called it a day?
No, first everyone at the kitchen kind of like laughed about it. And I went to the cooks and I told them, so we have someone that ordered the grilled cheese, but they don't want bread. And they all just kind of looked at me like, what? No, we ended up having to call her and ask her, you know, what do you mean by this? And she's like, oh, can I just have chicken? So she
okay.
In reality, it kind of like, I get it. She just wants, I think, the tomato soup. But yeah, that was probably their funniest one.
Bro, kids, don't do drugs. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, that's a Dare commercial right there. You know what I'm saying? And the last question from our mail time segment. What are, if you have any, some nightmare delivery stories?
Okay. One that really comes to mind. We were doing a delivery in Southwest.
Okay.
And the driver gets there, and we were running a little late that day. It was raining. He calls me, and he says he can't get to the client's door because there are peacocks. There are like 5 peacocks.
Rabid peacocks.
Like in the front lawn, and I'm like, you know, I don't know anything about peacocks. Do they bite? Or I'm like, what do you mean peacocks? And so we had to like call the client for him to come out. Another time, there was a dog, and this is like, I guess like this is every delivery story. You're gonna run into a dog,
of course.
But this was like a big dog. He sent me a video of it. It was like a ravaged German Shepherd.
Oh wow!
Just like biting at the gate. Like his teeth were around the gate. And the driver's like, so yeah, I'm not going in. I'm like, no, okay. So we end up having to call the clients, but yeah, animals do get in the way quite a bit with delivery.
100%. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Thank you for sending in those questions. You know what I'm saying? Tune in every Saturday, Friday, whatever the case. Boom. And send in those questions. Vedra, what is, I guess, some of the biggest hurdles that you've overcome in sourcing your ingredients? Was that a long process? Was it not as difficult? Talk to me about that.
When we first started, I didn't know about food vendors or...
Right. Hitting the Walmart, baby. Hitting the Walmart.
I did. I was going to Penn Dutch, Walmart, and sometimes even Publix. As we grew larger and larger, we realized, okay, we need to have a food vendor come.
Right.
And another funny story, I was still at my mom's cooking food when this happened, and I decided to order from Gordon Food Service. But I did not tell them that they were delivering to a house.
Okay.
So the guy comes with like a semi-truck, and he calls me. He's like, ma'am, am I delivering to a house? And I'm like, yeah. And he said, well, we can't get into the neighborhood because of the power lines. Like, the truck won't fit. And I'm like, well, I don't know what we're going to do, but I need that chicken. He had to turn back and bring a van. So I quickly realized that he said, we can't deliver here. So I was like, okay. It's another reason why we started renting the kitchen. But then the kitchen I started to rent from did not allow me to store anything there. So that was a big hurdle. We had to have the food delivered there because it was a kitchen. They can get into it. And then I'd have to cook in a matter of hours that I was renting, and then pack up everything and take it back to my mom's.
Oh my God.
So that started with my dad buying 2 more refrigerators.
Oh my God. Hitting Sam's Club up for real.
Yeah. And finally, after we went through that whole process, we were able to purchase our own kitchen.
Wow.
And then we were able to order from any vendor we wanted. We didn't have to go to the grocery stores. But even now, after COVID, the resources that the problem we're running into is gathering certain resources because the trucks are not coming in with them. So it's actually harder now to get food than it was before.
Are you serious?
Yes. Sometimes the store won't have something as simple as vinegar. The food vendor stores.
Right.
Like right now, getting 2-ounce cups for sauces has been difficult.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's
there's
way
a
harder
shortage
now,
on things right now.
ever since COVID.
Wow. And speaking of the monster, the elephant in the room, COVID. I gotta ask, how did your business, how did it survive? How were you guys able to stay afloat when so many food vendors, restaurants, anything pertaining to the food industry, so many of them shut down? Talk to me about the Glow Meals COVID experience.
Well, thank God we didn't shut down. We didn't even close. We actually got busier.
Wow.
We did. And we have a small staff. We work from 7, 8 in the morning till 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And we were working till midnight.
Good Lord.
We got Amazon, right. Amazon.
Yeah, I heard of them.
We started serving food to them, about 100 employees a day.
Wow.
And other organizations contacted us, and we had our clientele blew up. We actually grew tremendously. We had like 300 clients during COVID.
Wow. Was it hard to keep up?
It was, but we were all just so grateful. We didn't care to stay there till midnight.
Hell yeah.
I mean, so many people lost their jobs.
Of course.
And their businesses, and it breaks my heart. But we got really lucky.
Wow. That's very impressive, very commendable. And wow, I congratulate you. I really do. And on a like separate note, talk to me about finding that balance of the actual dishes in the nutrition. How do you find the science behind it, as far as like, I'm going to put X amount of protein, I'm going to put X amount of complex carbs, all that good stuff. Talk to me about that. How do you compose the dishes, if you will?
So my mom is the chef.
Okay.
And I'm the one that creates the menu items.
Okay.
Back when I was competing, I learned a lot about portion control and the food. What types of food to have, what types of food not to have. And I quickly learned about measuring food. So, and I had other friends who were men and other women that were competing with me. And I saw the amounts that they were having. And my coach at the time really helped me learn, okay, in the morning, you're going to have this much protein with this much carbs. So I spent 3 years truly within the competition world and learning about food. So when it came down to glow meals, I said, I want to do something that's not just tilapia and broccoli, where people can eat this every day, but still manage to lose weight. We do offer those more strict options for people in that world.
Right.
But the average person every day wants to be able to eat healthy and not feel like they're hating themselves while they're doing it.
Right.
So I'm a firm believer in gluten-free.
Okay.
And I say this every time. If you just swap out processed foods for non-processed foods, you're gonna immediately see a difference. So gluten-free means there's no processed flours.
Okay.
So there are pastas that are gluten-free and there are breads that are gluten-free. And if you switch to taking out all the processed flour from your diet, you're gonna automatically see a change, not only in how you feel, but in how you look. So we go with sticking to the most natural products we can and measuring it out. So when you order, you're allowed to pick male or female portion.
Okay.
So for men, we give them 8 ounces of protein, 1 cup of carb, 1 cup of vegetable.
Okay.
If it includes it. And the females, we give them half a cup, and half a cup. And it's worked out for them tremendously. It's all about not taking everything you don't like out of your diet, but being able to have foods you still like in a more natural state at the right portion.
Wow, man! You do all the hard work for them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You really do. That's amazing. What would you say? I guess is some of the biggest requests as far as like food goes. Like, is there a crowd favorite that everybody's like, I want that one. I want that one. I want that one. Like, what are some of the most favorite dishes you guys have?
My mom's healthy arroz imperial.
Oh my God, that sounds fire.
Yeah. She just puts a lot of chicken. We cook it's chicken breast, so there's no dark meat. There's no fat in it. And then she puts a thin layer of rice instead of, you go to a restaurant, you get this much chicken, this much rice.
Of course.
We use a light mayo that she makes.
Oh, wow.
And light cheese.
Oh.
So we cut back a lot of the calories, but the taste they love it.
Oh man, that sounds amazing. And speaking about the versatility of your clients, what would you say, I guess, is your customer base comprised of? Is it the majority regular people just trying to lose weight? Is it people that are looking to compete? Is it people that are athletes and are MMA or UFC fighters? What does the pie kind of look like?
Like I said, we have over 300 clients, so we have everything. We have the single guy who doesn't want to cook and orders with us.
Respect.
We have the family where the parents work too much and they don't have time, so they order. We have a lot of athletes and we have a lot of students.
Okay.
Regular people. We have such a variety of clients, but they all love the food. So it's all people who do a lot in life and they don't have the time.
Right.
And that's who we cater to. People that they're getting other things done throughout the day. And the last thing they can do is sit there and cook and measure everything out for themselves.
Right. What's kind of like the current, talk to me about the plans that you guys have. Are you guys doing are you doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Are you guys just doing breakfast? Like talk to me, what do you guys offer right now?
We offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner daily for like a cantina style delivery service for people. And we also serve to schools.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
We're serving around 10 schools right now.
Wow. So
private schools, daycares. And during the morning, we do the schools. And then come around 1 o'clock after lunch has been delivered, we start serving glow meals.
Wow. So talk to me. How'd the whole, how'd the school, how'd that partnership come about? What has it been like working with students and schools? Talk to me about that.
So after doing glow meals for about 1.5 years, I loved it, but I'm the type of person that I need something like new all the time, or like a challenge.
Right.
And I'm like, man, I'm not getting bored, but I need something else. I need something new. And then I started thinking, what other avenue can we do food in other than opening a regular restaurant? And I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, school lunch. School lunch is pretty bad. So maybe if we offered a really good school lunch, we can get schools.
Wow.
And that'd be great for business, and not just for business, but these kids, they'd have good lunch.
Oh, yeah.
So we started to contact them, and then we had an amazing client named Alyssa. And
Big shout out, Alyssa.
yeah. And she got us in contact, her mom got us in contact with a school, and we were able to start serving them.
Wow.
And it's a big private school of 160 kids, 170 kids. And then from there, we started to hit charter schools, and now we do the government daycares.
Wow.
So, yeah, we've pretty much expanded. And now I'm looking for the next thing.
Oh, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. Tell me about a story that maybe that it was a moment that you kind of had to stop and be like, wow, I can't believe how much we've grown. I can't believe that we were able to get a school. I can't believe, at what moment did you kind of stop for a second, sit back and be like, wow, this came out of 10 people ordering food and I was in my kitchen. Talk to me the moment that it kind of hits you.
I was alone in our kitchen now, the one that we work out of. And it was Sunday. I won't forget. It was quiet. So I had a moment there. And I was finishing something before I went home for the rest of the day. And I looked around and I just said, I can't even believe that this place exists. Wow. I was doing this out of my mom's kitchen. And then we went from that to renting different kitchens and finally opening our own place. And it hit me. I mean, there were so many early mornings and late nights, so many times where I didn't make money and I didn't have the money to continue doing things or even to pay my employees back then. And I always figured it out. Wow. I prayed and I always figured it out. And just being able to look around and say, we're here and we're actually doing it well and successfully. It was a very humbling moment.
Where does that perseverance, that determination, that drive, to be there till midnight to fill in those orders, and that constant belief in yourself, in your business, where does that come from?
My parents.
Yeah?
Yeah. I always saw my dad and my mom work a lot. And then they'd come home and it wasn't just sit in front of the TV. They did homework with us. They washed clothes. My mom would cook. And they were always going and doing something. And they've done so well for themselves.
Right.
So we were raised to do our best. Every time we went to go take a test, even in elementary school, my dad would say, always do your best. And, I also grew up watching my brother, who went to art school and then went to go work for Sony. He works in special effects.
Oh, wow.
In Los Angeles. And I just saw everyone in my family always doing their best.
Right.
So it was put into me that, if you're going to do something, don't do it mediocre. Do 100%. It 100%.
Oh, damn. She doesn't have a half-ass in her, man. She goes all in, and that's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, every single week, you know what I'm talking about. We have three segments, and the second one is actually the movie review of the week. You know what I'm talking about? And in this beautiful segment, we ask our illustrious guest for a suggestion. You know what I'm saying? A recommendation. I'm talking about maybe a movie, a TV show. We've had video game suggestions. We've had all sorts of things. So any sort of like media, because let's say, boom, you got 2,000 people and they're waiting to get their food. You know what I'm saying? Because Globe Meals is popping. You know what I'm saying? And they got 2 hours to kill. What would you suggest for them to watch? Either Netflix, Hulu, whatever it may be. Maybe something that you're binging right now. Talk to me.
Well, I just finished watching the new season of You.
Okay. No spoilers because I'm still in there. You know what I'm saying?
No, it was really good.
Okay.
I thought they took it in a really good direction. I love that show tremendously. And then also, don't know if you'll like it, but Britney versus Spears.
I started. I'm not gonna lie, I did.
It's insane, eye-opening, and I love Britney Spears. So to me, that documentary was great. The new season of You, and we watched a scary movie yesterday that we didn't get to 100% finish it, but it looked pretty insane. It's called Hereditary.
Okay, yes. Hereditary. Okay, that's a big one.
It was pretty. And then I'm a horror movie
Oh, love them.
For anyone who hasn't seen it, Strangers.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
It's one of the scariest movies I've seen.
Oh, I love that movie. I love that movie. Also, I don't know if you watched the new Halloween. It sucked. It was. I mean, it was all right for me. The ending, I was like, "What's happening?" You know
It's
what I'm saying?
Michael. It's Michael.
Yeah,
You're
right.
paying to see Michael.
100%.
Be Michael.
100%. And what would you give? Okay, so we got Britney versus Spears. We got and give me a rating for each one. Britney versus Spears.
10.
Oh, love him. We have the last season or the third season of You.
10.
Boom. And then Hereditary.
A 9.
Okay. 9. Solid. And that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? That's amazing. Movie suggestions. Make sure to check them all out. Vetra, what about, I do want to know, has there ever been something not as glamorous in the sense of like, I don't know, clearly you know that you make your food fresh or whatever the case. Has there ever been a case where you have a new client and they're claiming that they got sick or you can tell when someone's trying to get a free something? Has there ever been a something not as glamorous in that sense?
Sick, thankfully, no.
Okay, awesome.
Never had that scare.
Awesome.
But we did have one client that we quickly started to notice it was fake.
What do you mean?
She was just trying to get a refund.
Oh.
So, but every week she kept ordering, and she would keep saying, like, you see my hair, I have dark hair. Mm-hmm. And everyone that works at the kitchen has dark hair, except for our dishwasher, but she's not dealing with the food. Mm-hmm. And every week this girl would send us a picture of like a clump of blonde hair in her food.
God.
And she's blonde.
Oh my God.
So the first time I was like, oh my God, we even had like a mini meeting and we were like, okay, how did this happen? We need to figure this out. After the third week of this happening, and she's still ordering, like, come on, if you get a clump of hair in your food every week, are you going to keep ordering?
100% not, man.
No.
What?
So we quickly realized she was
taking advantage.
Putting it in herself.
Oh my God. I cannot believe that people stoop so low.
They do, but thankfully, yeah, no one's ever complained about getting sick or nothing serious, just hair girl.
Okay. hair girl. Oh my God. Wow, that's insane. I can't believe people would actually do something like that. But I'm glad that for the most part, most of the, the majority of the clients have overwhelmingly been good people, good clients. Do you still find yourself advertising in like the gym, word of mouth? Are you doing more social media advertisement? What's your social media presence like? Do you feel that social media is a necessary tool in order to retain a client base?
I do. Social media is our number one way of advertising. We've also jumped into Google Ads, and word of mouth is always big for us because we try to, even if a client sends an email, we try to build some kind of relationship with a client and be kind and answer any questions they have. We have a very good relationship with majority of our clients. Some of them have been eating with us for more than 2 years, since when I was at my mom's house.
Right.
So word of mouth has always tremendously helped us. Our clients always spread the word. But definitely social media. Most definitely. You're reaching a wide range of people with one post or one story. And it also gives them an avenue with the swipe up feature to go to your website versus having to type in glowmeals.com.
Talk to me about the doors that the website opened for you. Has it been an instrumental part of your success?
Oh my God, yes. When we started, imagine, when we started to get around 300 clients, imagine writing all their names in a notebook.
My wrist hurts just thinking about it.
And I'm not computer savvy. I have my weaknesses, and that computers is one of them. I know Microsoft Word and how to check my email. So we got this amazing website built, and it takes all the orders, and then my brother fixed it to where when those orders are put into the website, they're batched out into a routing system.
Oh, wow.
For the drivers. So
wow.
We don't have to do anything.
Wow.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Technology. That's technology right there. Man, and we'll plug him up too, you know what I'm saying? Give me his info, you know what I'm saying? Hit him up. Because that's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, he's incredible. He's done so much. I mean, we would still probably be putting stuff in a notebook.
Right. How often do you find yourself experimenting as far as like trying new flavors, new tastes, new foods? Do you like to kind of get out of your comfort zone or not? Talk to me about that.
All the time. So we serve Cuban food, Japanese, Chinese, Greek, Mediterranean,
Damn.
Italian, American. We've done German.
Bro, you don't even need to go to Epcot around the world, bro. Just order off of them. What are you talking about, man? What?
Yeah, I'm very innovative and creative, and like I told you, I do the menu, and my mom is the chef.
Right.
So she'll sometimes I hear her in the kitchen like, "What did this girl put on the menu? Where is she? Vicky, what is this that you put on the menu? I've never even heard of this." I'm like, "Oh, Google it, mom." But she's incredible too. I mean, no matter what I throw at her, she makes it and amazing. She's the best cook I know.
Wow.
She went to school for it. She's worked in other restaurants and she's incredible. We're super lucky to have her.
Wow.
But yeah, we have all kinds of different nationalities and different foods. I mean, you name it, we've probably made.
What's the last curveball that you threw at her?
Dumplings. Healthy dumplings.
Healthy dumplings. What?
Yeah, and I'm not 100% sure how she made it happen, but she did. She was pretty upset. She was like, dumplings, but that's all flour. I mean, what do you want me to do? And I'm like, there has to be a way. And then, yes, she figured it out. And it came out not exactly like your average dumpling, but the taste was the same and it was incredible.
Wow. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Before we start, we start diving into the food. Tell me what we're about to dive into. Tell me what we're working with.
What do you mean?
As far as right here.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know what you're talking about. Okay, so that is a classic paella.
Okay.
So it's seafood. You're not allergic.
No.
Okay, good. It has scallops, calamari, clams, shrimp, and maduros.
Oh my God!
It's something everyone likes.
I am excited. Is this one of the older dishes you've had on for a while? Is it new? Talk to me about it.
We've done it many times.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are some of the menu items that you first started with?
Well, when we first started, I was cooking, so we did not have a big variety. But I tried, and my poor clients back then, they must have really loved me because the food was definitely not as good as it is now.
Why do you feel that?
Because I don't know how to cook.
Man, I love that transparency right there.
My mom does. She's an incredible chef, but I would do simple rice or pasta, gluten-free, with chicken and picadillo, ground beef. Things that were very, very simple because, again, I didn't know what I was doing.
Right. At what point did your mom come into the picture?
When we bought the kitchen.
Ooh.
Yeah. The rented kitchens, she wasn't there, but she would help me out from home. And when we got the kitchen, I remember saying, okay, like, it's for real now, Mom. You have to help me. And she came in and she does more work than anybody there.
Wow. At what point did you kind of figure that renting kitchens, wasn't going to cut it?
Because you have sharks out there, man. So we were renting one kitchen and we couldn't, like I said, leave anything there. I would show up with tanks of my seasoning, my pots. We couldn't use any of his equipment or store anything.
What could you use?
His stovetop and oven and space. And he was charging me $30 an hour.
Sheesh.
So, and the more clients we got, the longer we were there.
Right.
And that's why I wasn't making a profit because, I mean, it costs more to rent a kitchen than pay your own rent.
Wow. It makes sense.
They put the prices up tremendously, but it was also really hard because I used to drive a Dodge Charger. Mm-hmm. And I was running out of space to put everything I needed. And we would finish like at 3 a.m. and I'd have to load up my car, go to my parents, unload everything, and do it all over again.
Damn.
And it got too hard. So that's when I was like, no, we need our own place. We need our space where I don't have to load my car with seasonings every day and be able to store food in refrigeration. And even now, we've grown so much that we're looking for a bigger kitchen.
Wow.
So, if anybody knows.
There we go. Expanding. I like it. Wow, that's phenomenal. What was the biggest, adjustment you had to make when you moved into your own kitchen?
The hours. So now you have people who pick up and you have more clients. And when we started the schools as well, it's more volume. It was difficult to adapt to getting in earlier and leaving a lot later. Sometimes you feel like you don't have a life as a business owner. Even on the weekends, something's always being done, so it's not having your time. I thought it was bad back then, but it's, I'm there all the time. The only day I really have is Saturday and Sunday. And even still, sometimes something happens and you have to go to the kitchen.
Right. Kind of like always on call.
Always.
Always. Have you ever had any sort of thing where some sort of like last minute, oh, you have to go into the kitchen at 2 a.m., sort of like something crazy like that, or,
Yes.
or not really?
Yes. One day, I didn't do the routes correctly.
Okay.
And like 10 people got left off the routes, so they didn't, what we call bagging. Their meals got served, but they weren't bagged for the drivers to take them. And it was not cute. I realized at like midnight, and I had to go and I had to pack them, fix it, and then tell one of my drivers, who's probably one of my most reliable drivers, I had to tell him, hey, I made a mistake. Can you deliver these 10 people?
Oh, wow.
And he went and he helped me. So, but yeah, it's like one of those things where you're like, oh crap, I messed up. And
Right.
like that little moment of fear. But yeah.
Talk to me about support systems. Talk to me about, what does it mean, excuse me, what does it mean for you to have someone like that, like a driver that'll bite the bullet and, I'm saying, boom, I'll make these deliveries, don't even worry about it, or having your mom there, or anybody that kind of has been a rock to you during this whole process. Talk to me about the support system.
Okay, so first and foremost, my parents. They have lent me their house. My dad goes to the kitchen on the weekends to help clean the hood. My mom has dedicated her life now to helping this business grow. My brother dedicates most of his day to helping me with the virtual computer stuff. My employees are fantastic. They're hardworking. They're always trying to do the right thing, and they're always very helping. I got very, very lucky right now with the team I have. And also my fiance.
Of course.
Before we had a food vendor, he would wake up an hour earlier and go buy the food for me.
Wow.
And take it every day in his truck to the kitchen.
Wow.
For a year, he did that. So, and then I have incredible friends who, without getting paid or anything, have jumped up and helped at any time. So having a support system has truly been amazing. I'm really lucky.
Would you say you wouldn't be where you are without it?
Probably not.
Right. Wow. Talk to me about when did you really get the opportunity to cast a wide net? At what point did the social media really start taking off? The orders kind of started becoming far more, not only frequent, but larger in size, like you said, with the schools. Was there a specific moment that everything, quote unquote, popped off, or was it a gradual increase?
I think it was a gradual. I
Okay.
don't think it was a specific moment, but we started to do, which is another important thing, when you start off a business, you're going to have to do some things for free sometimes.
Right.
We did a bunch of free demos
Of
where we
course.
went to different gyms, and we even went to the mall, fitness competitions, and we gave out free food. That helped spread word of mouth. And also when I took the social media advertising more serious, I started to take better pictures of the food. I started to announce it on my personal page more. And it was just continuous hard work, continuous perseverance. And also when my mom started cooking, the orders went up a lot.
Shout out mom. Shout out mom. You know what I'm saying? Wow. What do you think is something, and before I dive into this amazing dish I'm very much looking forward to, I thank you. What do you think, I guess, is the secret sauce, if you will? And obviously don't give away all your secrets or anything like that. But in the sense of the food market is such a saturated one, right? What did you feel that the cantina market was lacking that you were able to provide?
It was lacking, I guess, what you'd call high class.
Ladies and gentlemen, look at this dish. You know what I'm saying? Look at the composition of this dish. You see it on all the cameras. I'll even put it on the GoPro a little bit. Shabam, shabam, shablam. And you see those close-ups. God, that looks, man, that looks decadent. That is the word to describe it. And how important did presentation become for you? Because you have presentation down to a T.
That's a big part of it. So it was first getting good food. I've tried a lot of different meal prep companies to see what I am kind of going up against.
Okay.
And most of the time the food
Excuse me, so you actually went out and purchased your competition, quote unquote.
From a lot of different meal prep companies.
Okay.
And
study the competition.
Yeah, that and to support, other people as well. I'm sure they've bought from me too. So the taste is good.
Right.
I mean, that's the number one factor. The food has to taste good.
Of course.
Not every dish is going to be your absolute best dish, but it's got to be good.
Of course.
And then presentation. So the way the food shows up is so important. We use microgreens. Sometimes we use edible flowers. Anything to make it look good. And we're very picky, me and my mom. One time, the servers served something wrong. It was a taco, and the shrimp was on the bottom, and then the coleslaw on top. And my mom's a fan of putting the seafood on the top so that you see it. And they went back to each 100-something plates and put the shrimp on top. So, because it can't leave.
I love it. Some Devil Wears Prada right there. Oh, that's amazing. I love it.
My mom is very, very picky. I'm very, very picky.
Okay.
And some people may take it the wrong way, but it's just where we're at now because we're so picky.
Right. Some will call it picky. I'll call it attention to detail. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that is.
Yeah. It needs to look good and it needs to taste good. But presentation is so important. A lot of these meals don't show up looking fabulous because, it gets thrown in a car. And that's also where I've told my delivery drivers, hey, this food, the way it leaves here, it needs to show up like that. It cannot be thrown in your trunk or turned sideways, and our drivers take very good care of the food to make sure it shows up as best as possible.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am tasting this food. I'm having a religious experience over here. I'm not going to lie. But please, you see all that good stuff on the screen. You got to contact them. Ladies and gentlemen, they get my stamp of approval times a million. The food tastes remarkable. I wish technology had come a little bit more advanced, and I could kind of I would have smell-o-vision, and they could smell it, or that, I could thrust a little piece of rice or a little, a spoonful, and they could taste it virtually. But alas, you can't. So you're gonna have to trust me on this, ladies and gentlemen. It is remarkable.
Thank you.
No, thank you. How long did it take to kind of get to that perfect symmetry of presentation, of flavors, of what to put in there, of the proportions? I take it wasn't an overnight sort of thing.
No, there was a lot of trial and error.
Right.
So, and also what has really helped is me and my family eat the food as well. So we like to come home and my fiance eats it too. And I always ask him, how is it? And I stare at him while he eats it.
And I think no one's more honest than a fiance. You know what I'm saying?
And they'll tell me, oh, this is good. This may be different, and we eat our own food.
Right.
So we get to analyze it that way. And we've made a lot of changes. My mom will be like, oh, next time I'm going to do it like this. And it's trial and error. It's trial and error over the years. We've been doing this for 4 years now. So we've learned a lot.
Okay.
And now we're pretty spot on, I like to think, with most of our meals. But yeah, trial and error.
And in that trial and error, I have to ask, give me some error stories. Maybe some menu items that didn't get the fiance stamp of approval. You know what I'm saying? Something that maybe didn't make the cut.
He never got to taste those because we don't use them. We will go buy and remake it before the client has it. But one time it was so bad, and I felt so bad for my mom. We left chicken brining. So, you brine chicken breast so that it's softer. And it was an Asian dish that went with an Asian sauce. And it was a night that we were really tired. And we made the mistake of not rinsing the chicken's brine off.
Okay.
So when we put the Asian sauce over it, it was inedible from how salty it was. So we had to throw away 2 boxes of 40 pounds of chicken each, 80 pounds of chicken.
Oh my God.
And do it again.
Wow.
In 3 hours.
In 3 hours. God, that's some cooking shows sort of, you know what I'm saying? Like sort of style. Wow. That's absolutely insane. Ladies and gentlemen, every single week, you know what I'm talking about? We have 3 segments. I said 3, and the last one is actually the quest for the truth. You know what I'm talking about? And in this beautiful segment, I pick a random, emphasis on the word random, card from this here deck of cards, and we ask this question to our illustrious guest. And I don't know what it's going to be. I mean, for the most part, I don't, unless it's someone, something that we've already done, then I'll pick something else. But here we go. All right. Okay. No, we did this one. I was a little bit too deep. They're like, forgive your biggest bully. And I'm like, bro, chill. All right, here we go. And you can now feel free to incorporate this into the cooking world or not even remotely at all. Okay. If you want to fly as high as you want.
All right.
What talent would you most like to have and what would you do with it?
Oh, okay. I have to go with this. Singing.
Oh, really?
Yes, I wish I could sing. I love to sing. I would have so been a performer, but sadly, I cannot sing at all.
Do we have the fiance stamp of approval on the singing, or? There we go. Enough said. Did you do any sort of like arts when you were in school, anything like that? Talk to me about that.
Before I was a personal trainer, I was a writer.
Oh wow!
For children's books.
For children's books, and that takes a whole different type of creativity in itself.
Yes.
You really got to fly with imagination right there.
Yeah.
Talk to me about some of the children book endeavors.
So I had been writing since I was little,
okay.
Probably 6 years old. I took writing classes. I studied at FIU for 4 years. Also did an independent study in exile literatures of writing. I went to the Southampton's program for children's writing. And when I graduated FIU, I was like, okay, I'm going to do my master's and I'm going to be an author. After all the workshops and, writing for hours and hours for years and years. I remember my dad's big on school, so he wanted me to go get my master's. And I told, we were going to apply to Stony Brook in the Hamptons for children's literature. I had my portfolio ready, everything. And then I remember one day coming out of my room, I was still living at home then, and I told him, hey, Dad, I'm not going to go back to college. I'm going to be a personal trainer. And he was like, what? What are you talking about? And something in me I believe what I believe. And if a feeling comes to me, if I have a gut on something, I run with it. I trust my intuition a lot. So when I felt like I wasn't meant to write anymore, I have to go do this gym endeavor. I told my dad, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And then when I felt the endeavor with the food come on, I put everything I had into it, even though people told me I was crazy. I don't know how to cook. I don't know anything about running a kitchen or anything in the food industry. I said, yeah, I don't, but I have this feeling I have to do this. So yeah, I gave up writing to do the gym, and then I gave up the gym to do the food.
Did you ever feel disillusioned in any way, or maybe... Yeah, disillusion is a good word. We out here with SAT words, Did you ever feel disillusioned by those people that, quote unquote, called you crazy for putting everything into something that they don't see?
No. No, that's probably a trait I like about myself the most, is that whatever I touch, I try to turn it into gold. And I don't let other people stop me. I've had a lot of people tell me, when it was to compete, back then I was really, really overweight, and they would tell me, you're not gonna be able to do that. Do you know how little you have to eat or what you have to do to get to that point? And I was like, no, but I'm gonna find out. And then with the food, all the time people would tell me, you can't keep this going, running out of a house. You don't have the time between the gym and the food, and you don't know how to run a kitchen. And I would say, no, I don't, but I'm gonna find out how. And people are always gonna tell you, and sometimes they don't do it with the wrong intention. Sometimes they're just speaking what they see.
Right.
But I've always had the capability to see beyond what's here right now, to just see what can be more than what is. And I think that's important when running a business. You have to always see what can be and not just what is.
So you had it seems like you had a lot of foresight for Glow Meals from the get.
Yeah, for anything I do, I always feel like, okay, what's the biggest we can go with this?
Right.
And I try to get as close as I can to that, unless, the time comes where my gut tells me, okay, this isn't what we're doing anymore. We're doing something else.
Right. You come off as an extremely driven individual. And it speaks volumes on, the amount of time that you've invested, time and money and, into your business. And putting everything into it is extremely commendable, as is, you had mentioned that you lost a lot of weight when you first went into the gym. What motivated you to go that first day? What was kind of like what started it all?
Okay, well, this is more of a personal thing, but
Sure.
I was in a really bad relationship back then, and he used to call me fat all the
Are
time.
you fucking serious?
No, I'm serious. And one day when I decided to finally leave that relationship, I said, okay, I'm gonna go do this. And a part of it was the drive to prove somebody wrong, or that I can do it. But most of all, I just wanted to feel better about myself. So I dove into the gym, and the gym honestly is what took me away from that bad relationship.
Did you feel that the people there, because there's a lot of stigmas, there's a lot of stigmas, but and I was speaking about this before we even started shooting. Some of the nicest, like most chill, I'm gonna stay at home and watch anime people I know will like beat you to a pulp in like 3 seconds. It's insane. Like the UFC fighters, they all come in here, they all talk about anime, and there's always this like stigma about people that are at the gym all the time or gym rats or whatever. But when I was going to the gym, and because I have a similar story. I started at like 290, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, your boy's at 195 right now, and my personal experience when going to the gym, for the most part, has been that people, if they see me doing something with bad form, they'll be like, hey, you should do, and it's not because they're trying to show off or anything. It's because,
No.
hey, don't get a herniated disc, so was your experience similar as far as like when you first went in? Were people trying to help you out? Were people judgmental? What was it like?
The gym I went to it's here in Hialeah. It's called Fit for Life.
Okay.
And the owners were incredibly nice and incredibly helpful. And I went in there, just doing my thing at first. And then I told one of the owners, I was like, hey, I want to compete. Wow. And he was like, okay, well, let me introduce you to this person and that person. And then I met my coach. But they were all so nice there. I had the best first gym experience with that little gym family. They were great. They're still great. They're still open. So,
awesome. Big shout out, big shout out, big shout out. Very cool. And I take it that it seems like you were able to apply that sort of. Talk to me about the focus that you need to have to compete. I mean, it must be something absolutely next level. What was your experience like?
Good and bad.
Okay.
So I'm not saying I'll never do it again, but I did 3 shows in a year and a half.
Oh my.
So that whole year and a half, I was really depriving myself of everything, not just social life, food, but also sometimes water.
Wow.
And as a woman, I've learned that, maybe 1 show a year is okay, but my hair started to fall out.
Yeah. 3 shows is intense.
Yeah. Time of the month wouldn't
Of course.
come.
Of course.
I was in a bad mood. all the time, and I couldn't do anything with my friends, family events. I couldn't eat there. I wouldn't even want to go because, I had to eat my tilapia and 3 stalks of asparagus. So I was like, I don't want to be around all this food and all, the drinks and stuff. So I think it showed me a lot of discipline.
Okay.
And I did definitely build so much discipline from that experience. And I do like being on a stage, but it kind of takes away from your whole life.
Of course.
And it's not the healthiest. There are ways I learned after, healthier ways, what we call natural shows, where you can definitely do it all natural.
Okay.
And be a little less intense and compete. But, when you're going to, the pro shows or the regular amateur shows, anything in the real fitness bodybuilding world, you're going to have to deprive yourself, and you're going to have to take some stuff and, really push your body to a limit. And I think that's cool to do it once or twice, but I quickly realized, I can't make a career out of this.
No. But do you still feel that some of the tools of discipline that they gave you, that you were able to apply that to Glow Meals?
Oh, definitely. So there's a lot of the times where I have some young people who work with me, and they'll be like, I want to do this, I want to do that. I'm like, okay, but you need to make money. You need to be disciplined. And I see myself sounding sometimes like a mom because I'm a very disciplined person. So it comes to me naturally now. Like, okay, we have 300 meals to serve. We just got to do this, and we can't go home till this is done. And there's no other option in my mind, but I'm working with younger people. I see that to them, there are other options. Like, I can just go watch Netflix.
Bruh, it's the most, I think there's a record right now for unemployment, and it's because people don't want to work, right? So they're like, oh, what? You're making me something that slightly inconveniences me? I'm going to call it a day.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I know. And I try to show them, like, you can get anything you want out of life if you're disciplined. Talent goes a long way, but discipline goes a much longer way. Because you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't apply discipline to getting things done, it doesn't matter how much talent you have.
Wow. Before we start wrapping up this powerhouse of an episode, first of all, can we please give it up for Vedra from Glow Meals? First of all, thank you so much for dropping on by you. First of all, you've enlightened us. You've motivated us. You've granted us stories of turmoil and perseverance. So I thank you for that motivation. Of course. Before we start wrapping up, first of all, give our listeners, talk to me about social media. Where can the people find you? Where can the people order food? Talk to me about all that good stuff, because ladies and gentlemen, the food, I'm telling you, I had an out-of-body experience for a second. You know what I'm saying? My soul wasn't with me, because it's phenomenal. Where can the people who clamor, where can they find this fantastic food?
Okay. So our Instagram, it's very simple. It's Glow Meals.
Boom.
And there you can see all the photos of our meals and keep up with us and what we're doing. And to order in our website, it's glowmeals.com.
Amazing. Glowmeals.com. You see all that good stuff on the screen. Please give them a follow. Tell them I sent you. Go on their website, order something. I guarantee you will be glad that you did. What do you see as far as like the next, what's happening in the next, 5 years with Glow Meals? Talk to me about some aspirations.
Definitely more schools.
Okay.
Bigger kitchen so we could take on more clients. And then I don't see Glow Meals stopping until we are serving all 50 states.
Ooh, I like that. Wow.
Hopefully one day.
Yes. Very cool. Do you guys, do you foresee yourself kind of like going into the competition realm as far as like serving people that are competing, or maybe looking to be the official, food vendor for a certain competition? Is there anything like that?
We would love to do that. So especially since I used to compete, I do have a soft spot for people who compete, and I know exactly what they need, and I would love to open more of an avenue for people who are working their ass off and need help in the kitchen in that aspect.
Right. Wow. Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, every single Thursday at midnight, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You go on Apple Podcasts, you go on Deezer, you go on Spotify, you go on all that good stuff. But more than anything, ladies and gentlemen, you go on YouTube. Because that's, like I said, that's why we got 72 damn cameras in here. That's how you see all of our damn faces, all of our grins, all of our expressions. This amazing food, which I'm going to devour as soon as the show is finished, because I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying, start. Actually, I might just, you know what I'm saying, go out. Another one right there. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a 5-star meal right here.
Thank you.
All right? And I'm being fully frank, and when the camera's off, I'm still going to be the same level of excitement over this food. Ladies and gentlemen, please contact them. I guarantee you it is quality food. The presentation, everything about it, it screams great. All right, it screams great. I thank you so much for joining us. Glow Meals, every Thursday at midnight. You know what it is. Holla.
Thank you. Bye.
And it don't matter what the world thinks. You can say how you feel on midnight in Miami. When you can push it to the limit, it gets real without